the socks. So, I mean, if you want to know how excited I am about DoTerra, I wear the socks. Okay.
I didn't even know
I
they
don't wear
had
the
socks.
socks in the family. My wife is at home a lot, so I joke when I say that. But no, I wear the socks.
I didn't even know they had socks.
Yeah, they don't. In a company called My Oil Shop, I think it's My Oil Shop, or one of the companies. There's several. There's 2 different companies that actually have Aroma Tools has socks.
Yeah, okay.
And other things. I mean, I got this at. This is really cool. It's from the Mason Bar Company. We expect a kickback from this, by the way. This is from the Mason Bar Company because we use essential oil a lot. And I'm going to use some this morning if you don't mind.
That's fine.
Let's see. That's my compensation for being on the video.
There you go.
Couple of drops of essential oil. But don't do this with every oil. That'll bring up a couple of questions, I'm sure. Don't do this with every oil, but that's 2 drops of peppermint. And I've already got 2 drops of Douglas fir in there, because that's really good. I'm sorry, Siberian fir. 2 drops of wild orange.
And they just replaced Siberian fir with white fir, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But that's wild orange and peppermint. The reason why I do wild orange and peppermint is because it's uplifting and it's mood elevating. I've also got wild orange going in the diffuser. What presentation talking about oils wouldn't have a diffuser going, right?
There you go. You would think. So, I didn't, but that's okay.
I mean, we actually diffuse our oils. Not only do we diffuse our oils, we actually drink them.
Well,
so.
that's probably mainly because last time I diffused them, I can still smell them.
Yep.
That was when I was sick.
I'm gonna give you some hot water if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Because I've got coffee in here, but it's not as hot as I'd like.
Anybody gonna go? I can't get onto my live stream. Uh-oh.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
There we go.
Do we have elevator music?
We'll sing it. Hey, I sang Itsy Bitsy Spider Live yesterday.
You gotta have fun, right?
Yeah.
Why be here if we're not having fun?
Exactly.
So, all right.
You want to tweet that we're live?
So just to repeat, I'm actually drinking what we're talking about today. Oh.
Yeah, I did get my intro video kind of up and everything.
Wonderful.
So, just kind of going through that DoTerra bingo, essential oil bingo, I mean.
Really cool.
Yeah, so I've gotten some good response from it, too.
2 cameras going at the same time, so I'm actually going to go live on my channel, too. Why not? I just won't be able to answer questions from both angles. So,
well, yeah.
It's funny.
But no, if Haley gets on your live stream.
Yeah, you could bounce back live streams.
Exactly.
We could cross live streams. How cool. No, but I'm actually here, Christy, because I really appreciate your dedication to the vision of what we do. And I'm here not just as a friend, but as someone that actually cares about people. I love people, and my goal in life is to leave this world better than I found it. So if there's anything I can do to make anyone's life better, I want to do it, and that's the reason why I love being here.
Orange and peppermint, I love that smell.
Peppermint and wild orange is amazing. And I'm going to figure out how to go live. That's really funny that I don't even know how to go live on my own channel. That's funny. But let me get this set up. We're just going to give people a couple minutes to get going. So if you'll just start asking questions if you have any questions about what we're doing. But I'm going to see if I can figure out how
there's supposed to be 2 people in there, I think it looks like.
Mine shows 3. I mean, but no one's...
I'm looking at an
3.
angle, so I can't see.
There's 3.
There's just no comments yet.
I'm typing to get people...
So if you're in here, please give us a shout out so we know you're in here and who you are. BC, I'm sure you're in here. Kelly, I'm sure you're in here.
I just said something to get them...
D, you might be in here.
Let's see, videos. Let's do a live video.
I swear, sometimes on her live stream, we're just like teenagers.
Why not? You gotta have fun.
Yep. We joke around and keep saying, you gotta keep it PG.
That's funny.
And inevitably, it almost always goes to non-PG.
That's funny. Gotta keep it PG for sure. Well, we're gonna be PG today, but we'll talk about all kinds of things. So, kids, if you are watching, we're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about real stuff. So whatever comes up, we're going to talk about it. So I am almost finished.
Are you seeing any? Are you on the channel, Haley?
I'm on yours.
Are you seeing any questions?
No, I'm the
Okay.
only one that said something.
Oh, I didn't get anything.
I said, who is here? And no one's saying anything.
Oh, sweet. I figured it out. What is your YouTube,
Chirpy's Natural Solutions.
okay. Chirpy?
Yeah, Chirpy's.
C-H-I-R?
C-H-R-I, like C-H-I-R-P-E-E-S. Oh, hey, I refreshed my screen and this totally worked. I think I got it now. Hey, I see you, Haley.
Okay. But who else is here?
Refresh is wonderful.
Yes.
Live with Chirpy's Natural Solutions. Video cast. Q and A session.
Oh, BC's here.
Yeah. That's what I
Let's turn the camera around. Gotta turn the camera around where I can see myself. I'm gonna flip it sideways.
Sometimes if you started before you flip it, it won't flip.
Yeah, I've realized that, and then you're sideways.
Yeah.
Never want to be sideways. I could be on an angle. You want on an angle? There we go. Never seen this image before, have you? Okay. There we go. All right. But yeah, what we were talking about is about life, and we were talking with Haley about her vision and her company. You actually make
It's custom jewelry.
custom jewelry.
Mhm.
Is it like leather or
It's just regular beads right
beads?
now.
Okay.
I'll eventually get to that. I want to learn the wire type jewelry and stuff. I want to learn all that.
If you could get some terracotta pieces or something that is porous, that actually has a good absorption, you can actually put these essential oils on those stones, put them on the jewelry, and make a diffuser that lasts all day long.
That's a good idea.
And there's a market for it.
I knew there was a way to do it. I just didn't know
Yeah,
what.
there's an oil for that, and it's a very good market. So I mean, just knowing that we're here talking about whatever y'all want to talk about, because this is a very open forum. But we're actually there's so many businesses that have spun off from DoTerra, and I don't normally say the name, but our essential oil company, and I am proud of it, because some of the things I'm going to talk about today are relevant and only brand specific to DoTerra. Like I was talking about, I'm drinking the peppermint wild orange because it's not only is it third party tested, but it is safe for internal consumption. They call it GRASS, GRASS. It's an actual it's safe for internal consumption. So basically, I want to open it up and just announce myself. My name's Dallas Rush, and I'm here live with Christy Evans.
They know me as Chirpy.
Chirpy, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Chirpy.
It's just not
Christy
to
Evans.
confuse people.
Chirpy, sorry. So she's chirping away over there, and I'm sitting here and going to answer questions. But I'm really honored to be here, and I appreciate you, Chirpy, for inviting me on. And it's really a privilege to be able to talk to people and just to drip into the lives of others and pour into the lives of others. So I hope you get something out of it, and really looking forward to, yeah. It is good to know that you can drink it. I'm telling you, and I'm not biased, but I am health conscious. Don't just grab a bottle of essential oil off the shelf of a store, let's say Best Buy or Walmart, and pour it in your water and drink it, because there's studies been done already that they aren't what they say they are. I'll leave it at that. I'm not here to slam competition. It isn't about that. Today's not about that. Today's is basically, you wanted me to talk about our company and what our company is all about.
Would you want to give your story first, and kind of like what you tell us to do all the time?
Yeah.
How you got involved in
I don't
DoTerra?
tell people what to do.
But when we're looking for
Chirpy,
you to help us with our businesses,
Because
getting advice.
I'm a coach, and I don't mean like football coach or baseball coach, although I am a t-ball coach. If you watch Peppa Pig, I'm daddy coach. So we're here to have fun and here to talk about essential oils, but I actually got started with my journey. It was August, it'll be 4 years. And can we talk about prayer?
Yeah,
Can we talk
yeah.
about
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Didn't want to offend anybody, but I'm not a Christian apologetic. I'm just a Christian. But I was actually praying. I was praying for God to use my talents and abilities. I've been a firefighter, a career firefighter for 18 years, and in being a firefighter, I don't do it for the money. Teachers don't do it for the money. Paramedics don't do it for the money. People that really serve, we don't do it for the money. I do it because I want to give back. I'm a chronic philanthropist. I love giving back. And basically, I was praying that God would use my talents and abilities. Well, He knows me more than I know myself, and He knows that I like people, and I love people, and I love saving lives. And sometimes saving a life to me doesn't mean running into a burning building. It means meeting somebody where they are and lifting them up, giving them a hand, because people need help. In this world, it's not exactly an exciting place right now, not a happy place. But I try to breathe life into the world and make the world a better place. And so I was praying that God would allow me to use my talents and abilities. And I had so many people reach out to me in the next 72 hours. I had a person meet me and talk to me about a prepaid law system. I won't talk about that, but I don't really, I have some lawyer friends, but I don't really want attorneys that I pay for, even if I don't need them. So that wasn't for me. I didn't see that opportunity of being a viable business opportunity. And then I talked to someone about a motor oil company. This is the funny part about it. I talked to someone about a motor oil company, and this was a business model where you can actually 50,000 mile oil change. And I bought some product because I don't like changing my oil that often, and I do it myself because I'm meticulous. So I bought some product, but it wasn't for me as a business. And then I had a lady come over to my house, and she was driving a company paid BMW X5, and I'm a car file. I like cars, and that was a very expensive SUV. It had stickers all over it. It had stickers all over it, and it was a really nice car. And she came in, and she said a friend of hers sent me, and I said, yeah, Tim told me you'd be coming. And she came over, and I looked at what she had, and she had this potion that you drink, and it did everything. It's supposed to do everything. You name it, it did it. And I looked at it, and the product tasted good. It was good. Sorry, y'all. Hold on a second. Hey, I'm on a conference call right now. Can I call you back shortly? Okay. Okay. But anyway, so long story short, let me turn my phone on mute because it'll keep ringing. I looked at her business and I looked at what she did. Her product was good, but I said, do you mind if I look at the compensation plan? And she said, sure. I looked at the compensation plan, and this is the part that a lot of people fail on, and this is part of my story because I'm a numbers guy. And you told me to tell my stories. This is
No,
the
that's
version.
fine.
This is the long version, so we might be here now. So, but this will be just a few minutes of the story, and then we'll answer questions. But I'm a numbers guy. I looked at the compensation plan, and I was really disheartened. This was what's called a binary compensation plan. If you're a part of those, I apologize. But anyway, I looked at it and I was disheartened because this lady was driving a company-paid BMW X5. She had pretty much invested her life in this company, and she had changed a lot of lives, and she had helped a lot of people health-wise. But as far as a profit center, she wasn't going down the right path. And I talked to her, and I told her, I said, I really like your product. You've got a great product, but I don't like your compensation plan, and for that reason, I'm out. I felt like a shark at the moment in Shark Tank. For that reason, I'm out. I said, but I know God had you here for a reason, and I don't know what that is yet, but I really appreciate everything that you're about and everything you stand for. And so she left, and she went back on her drive. She drove 2.5 hours to get back home. She came to see me, drove 2.5 hours to see me. And I knew that God had a purpose in that. But the next day I was at Starbucks, and I run into a guy, and he was talking to me about what he did, and I didn't like that. Keep in mind, this is, if you are just catching the tail end of this, you want to rewind and watch the beginning of it later. I had prayed. This is 96 hours prior. I had prayed that God, use my talents and abilities. Show me what I'm supposed to be doing. I had been working for corporate America along with being a fireman, and I was tired of it. I was tired of the Monday morning sales calls. I was exhausted with work because I was working between 90 and 120 hours a week, depending on what week it was, if I was traveling or not. And so I actually left Starbucks, and I was on my way home. I had an 8-month-old little girl at the time, and she's my why. I want to leave a legacy, and it's not about names on a building. It's about jewels in my crown, and I wanted to leave a legacy. And I passed by Cracker Barrel. I'll never forget it. And I looked over to the right, and I saw Batteries Plus. I couldn't pass Batteries Plus. I had to turn into Batteries Plus. Funny story. So I turned into Batteries Plus, and as I turned in, I get out of my car and my SUV, and I'm going in the store, and I see this BMW, really cool motorcycle. And I was like, this is awesome.
This is
awesome. And so this motorcycle is there, and I had sold my Harley when our daughter was born because my wife thought that was a great idea. That was my stress relief. But anyway, so I sold my Harley, and I'm looking at this BMW, and I used to race motocross years ago, and I'm looking at this cool motorcycle. It's an on and off-road motorcycle. There's a point to the story. I go all around the world, and then we're going to get back to the story. But I looked at this motorcycle, it was really cool. I was like, I need to get one of those. So I'm walking in, and as I'm walking in, RoboCop walked out. This guy looked like RoboCop. He had his ballistic riding gear on, and I don't know why he was there, but I knew why I was there. I needed batteries. I had a digital high-definition 1080p recorder, and we used to call them camcorders, if you're old enough to remember that. But this is a digital video recorder, and my batteries wouldn't hold a charge. Couldn't get the camera to work. My daughter was 8 months old. I was missing a lot of life, so I had to get batteries. So I walked in, and this guy walked out, and he started getting all his riding gear on. I had them check my batteries. They ordered batteries. They couldn't check the batteries, so they just ordered me some. And I left. And as I walked out, this guy's still getting his riding gear on. And I said, I know you from somewhere. I looked through his helmet, and I said, I know you from somewhere. I'll never forget faces. And I said, what do you do? He said, well, I'm a reserve deputy on the sheriff's department. Okay, so let me get this straight. This guy volunteered to get shot at. So I said, but what do you do? Because he said he's a reserve deputy in the sheriff's department. And I said, what do you do for a living? He said, I do oils. The day before, I had met somebody talking about motor oil and a business, so I was putting that together thinking this guy sold oil for a living. Speedy Lube, Quick Change, I didn't know. And he said, do you have allergies? I said, I do. He said, hold your hand out. And I did. And he took this little oil. It was called Breathe. It was a blue label similar to this. He dripped it in my hand. Kind of freaked me out. But he dripped it in my hand. He said, rub your hands together, and I did. And then he said, breathe in. And I breathed in. Keep in mind, this was August. Let's just say the season was in full bloom. There were flowers everywhere. All the trees were in full bloom. There was pollen everywhere. It hadn't rained for a few days. The green stuff in Tennessee was on the cars, if you know what I'm talking about. My car was white, but it was a shade of green. My sinuses were jacked up. So I rubbed my hands together. I breathed in real deep. And as I did, I started feeling, if you're familiar with sinuses, I started feeling things start breaking loose in my sinuses. I was like, that's kind of weird. Wow. I was the kind of guy, even though I love natural, I had to take inhalers, like not inhalers, but Flonase, stuff like that causes glaucoma over long periods of time. Anyway, we're not going to bash pharmaceutical companies, but so I breathed this in, and I breathed it in again because I was amazed, and I kept breathing it in, and my sinuses opened completely up. He had my attention. God didn't have my attention yet because I had been praying, and for 4 days, people in the network marketing arena had been calling me, and I took his card. I went home. 2 days later, this was August 4th. 2 days later, which is August 6th, unbeknownst to everybody on here, August 3rd is my birthday. So the day after my birthday, I meet this guy named David on that motorcycle. 2 days later, my wife came home. We have a skincare and laser center in Jackson, and she, or she does, she came home with an upper respiratory infection. I can say this because it's my testimony. FDA can't stop my testimony because it's mine. It's personal. And she came home with that upper respiratory infection, and it was taking 2 Z-Packs and 2 steroid shots to get over in about 2 weeks of downtime. Can't afford that in the business world. Can't afford to shut down and didn't want to contaminate people. So I called this guy named David, and I said, you got anything for this upper respiratory infection going around, this upper sinus infection? He said, meet me at Starbucks. I'm thinking, God, is Starbucks the answer? Because I'm meeting all these people at Starbucks. And I met he and his wife at Starbucks. No, I met him at Starbucks. He gave me On Guard, which is the protective blend. It's for immune support. He gave me peppermint. He gave me lemon. He gave me melaleuca. And what other one? Oregano. And he told me, he said, put this On Guard on her feet. That's where he really got weird. He said, put this on her feet, because I didn't know why I was putting it on her feet. I just did it, okay? The doctor ever tells you to do something, do you just do it? Not knowing why, you just do it because the doctor said do it? Well, I'm looking at this guy like an authority because he knows something, and I wanted an answer. He said, put the lemon and peppermint and melaleuca and oregano in a steaming cup of water. And, hold on 1 second. Hey, Sam, can I meet you somewhere? Text me where I can meet you in about 30 minutes, okay?
I'm not,
I dripped the peppermint and lemon, melaleuca, and oregano in this steaming cup of water. Don't boil it because then you lose the medicinal properties of the oil. I said medicinal. They're medicinal properties in the essential oil. And then I let her breathe it in. What she did is she took this steaming cup of hot water and she put a towel over her head and she breathed in that. Put the On Guard on her feet, and I gave her some of these On Guard capsules. She went to bed. She had a sickness, so I put On Guard on my feet. Why wouldn't I? I don't want to get sick, right, Christy?
Oh, absolutely.
So I put it on my feet. My daughter was 8 months old at the time, so I kept us apart to where she didn't get sick. The next morning, my wife woke up non-symptomatic. And I was like, you got my attention. I called David and I said, I want to know more. I want to know what worked. I want to know how this worked. And I want to know if there's a business around this. Because at this point, he's not trying to sell me. He was trying to help me. And that's the key. You asked me what the key was. That's the key. We're not peddling oils. We're not going door to door selling oils. We're finding people that have problems and we're giving them a solution. Is he your boss? No, in this we don't have bosses because you know what that is spelled backwards, right? It's a double SOB. No one needs a boss. They especially don't need a double SOB. I'm joking. I'm a Christian, but I can have fun, right? I want to answer that. That's funny, right? LMAO, that's good. So my point is, he solved a problem. He didn't cure my wife. He didn't give me the cure. What he did is he gave me some tools, that's a couple of them, to let my wife's body take care of itself. My wife's body didn't know what it was missing. But once you gave the body what it needed, then the body healed itself. That's what we do. It's not about us being healers, although we do heal ourselves. We do take care of people. Can't say heal because the FDA didn't want to hear it. But if you start following what people don't want to hear, chances are you're getting to a touchy subject, and that's something that's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's why I do what I do. Because I actually met with him and I found out there was a business involved in this. I looked at the compensation plan and it meant a lot to me. I got in this because a problem was solved and I knew I had something with substance. I have been a part of this industry. If network marketing is a cuss word to you, you probably don't know enough about it. But I had been in network marketing since the day I turned 18 years old, August 3rd, 1997. I turned 18 years old. I joined that then because I had a friend of mine named Tommy. His daughter was a good friend of mine, and I watched a lifestyle that I wanted. I grew up in a single parent home. We didn't have a lot, and I didn't know it. I woke up this morning at 4 o'clock to go pick up my mom in New Bern at the Amtrak station to where she could come spend some time with us. She's my best friend. And I said that to say this, that I know what my mom went through as a single parent. I never want someone else to have to go through. And there is an answer. I'm not saying all this to make somebody cry if you're on the end of this. This isn't a pity story. This is a good thing because, see, everybody's got a story and they're all unique. And everybody's story is what makes you who you are. And I know that I have the tools not only to help somebody with their health, but to help somebody with their wealth. And this isn't scripted, this isn't coined, this is just my heart. I'm talking this morning, and I haven't had any questions that I've answered yet, but I just wanted to tell you my story. So that's my journey started. He invited me to a convention. The convention was in September. And I told him, I said, I don't need to go to a rah-rah rally. I don't need to go hear about somebody's car, somebody's house, somebody's, millions of dollars they've earned, all that. I don't need to hear all that. He said, no, Dallas, that's not what this is about. You need to come. He literally, not literally, but he basically twisted my arm, twisted my leg, pinched my toenails, pulled my fingernails out, everything he could do to get me to come to this. And I said, look, I'm going to go. And I went. My wife and our 8-month-old daughter stayed at home. She had clients that she needed to meet with, patients, and I needed to go see what David was trying to tell me that words couldn't describe. And I went and I saw this, and I sat through the whole first day, and I'm seeing all these people walk around with these purple bags, purple and gray backpacks, these DoTerra backpacks, and I'm like, why couldn't we pick a black color or, khaki, OD green, anything kind of manly. But anyway, again, I'm wearing the socks now, okay? So
He's gone for
just to have
full
fun.
purple, guys.
I'm all
Kelly,
purple.
it's all about,
Lavender,
you love
pink,
purple.
I'm all in. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, can we say that? But the reason why is because that first day I sat through convention, kept my 8-month-old daughter at home. My wife's at home. She's holding down the fort, right? And the whole first day, I sat through this convention. And I didn't even hear it. I didn't see it. Nothing got my attention. But that evening, I looked around as they were talking about family. As Emily Wright, one of our founders and CEO, looked around, and they were talking about family. And I started hearing little cries and little whimpers, and I don't know how I missed it. I'd been there all day. And I saw these Moby wraps. If you're not familiar with a Moby wrap, it's a baby straddle. It's kind of like a holder where you can be hands-free. You can talk on the phone or pay for whatever you need to pay for, or carry your food, and your baby's right there with you. Saw all these Moby wraps and all these car seats and everything just all around. There were probably 20 or 30 kids within 100 feet perimeter of where I was, with 35,000 other people. You can hear babies crying when there's that many, believe me. But somehow I tuned it out. I was focused on what the presenter was saying. And I got to hearing these babies cry, and I excused myself. I walked out in the hallway. You have to forgive me if I get emotional. But I walked out in the hallway, and I called my wife. And I said, is there any way you can clear your patients? Is there any way you can clear your schedule for the next few days? I need you to come see this. And she said the doctor was out and she was the only one that could see the patients for the next couple of days, so she couldn't. But I wanted her to bring my daughter, because see, they had a family lounge too. If your baby was crying too much or you needed to nurse or whatever, you can go down to the family lounge. We hadn't missed this convention since. We've all went together as a family, because see, DoTerra is not like corporate America. It wasn't like corporate America. They didn't want you to keep your distractions at home, because we were there for that reason. It wasn't a distraction, it's what our culture is. It's what our tribe is all about. We're building a tribe of people that are changing their life, and they're owning their life. They're buying their life back. We're not a slave to the lenders anymore. Our company has a program called Free to Give. It's a program that anybody can be involved in if you have any kind of debt. They teach you to pay off credit card debt, because that's your highest interest debt. This is what we learn at convention. Teach you to pay off credit card debt. That's your highest interest rate. Your second is to pay off your any other outstanding debt, student loans, stuff like that's high interest. If your car is your next highest interest, there's credit card debt and unsecured loans, cars, student loans for financial aid, and then there's housing debt, your house. That's the fourth, because it's usually your lowest interest. And when you pay off a certain amount of debt, like I've paid off a credit card debt, you get a coin and you get awarded on stage in front of thousands of people that you've paid off that, you've achieved that. Is that a trophy that anybody here that's listening could want? I mean, what better trophy than paying off debt? And you get a really cool coin, and it's just a great celebration, because anytime you're with like-minded people, if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, they basically teach a type of snowball effect. I can't remember his daughter's name. I can't call her name right now, but she was at Leadership 2 years ago, and she spoke to us about Financial Peace University and all that. And actually, they had books that they gave away at the Leadership. You had to be silver and above. I want to back up, because I joined August 6th. It'll be 4 years ago, August. I joined August 6th, and it normally takes about 12 months to hit a rank called silver in the company. And I don't talk about the past, but I just want to touch on this real quick. I want to show you how fast you can do whatever you want to do in this company as far as business.
Rachel and Denise are his daughter's names.
Rachel Cruz, yeah. Rachel Cruz was there speaking, and she's awesome. But 21 days later, I hit silver in the company. In 21 days, I hit silver. It normally takes about 12 months. And everybody wanted to know, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? You know, because I was recognized as silver at the DoTerra convention. I went out and I shared it with people. If you go back and you watch the beginning of this video, there was a lady that came to my house. I forgot to tell you that she was a pharmacist. Come to find out later, she was a pharmacist. She ran a pharmacy and worked at another pharmacy. She ran 2 pharmacies, and she was driving that company-paid BMW X5 from another company that didn't have a good compensation plan. And their product didn't appeal to the masses, to everybody. I called her up first. I said, I know why God put us together now. I got something you need to look at. I met her halfway. The guy named David and I, we met her halfway, and I showed her what I had, and she bought the Every Oil kit. I didn't ask her to buy anything. I showed her the opportunity, and I showed her what we had, and she said, I want to buy the Every Oil kit, because if someone asks for an oil, I want to have what they asked for to give it to them. And so her being a pharmacist, that kind of got my attention. Showed another doctor friend of mine. Keep in mind, I'm going to people that most people would be scared to talk to, but I showed another doctor friend of mine, and she bought the Diamond Kit, which has every single product DoTerra had to offer. Again, that got my attention, because I didn't ask her to buy the Diamond Kit, but she bought it. And then another friend of mine that was a wound care specialist with West Tennessee Healthcare, he bought a large kit and come over to the team, joined the team. I had a pharmacist and a very well-known doctor on my front line. And the third person I invited to join the company was my mom. because earlier on I talked about my mom being my best friend.
Because they like ugly babies.
My mom raised, Mama loves an ugly baby. So I joined, I asked my mom to join because I wanted her to be on this journey with me. And we started the journey together. And my mom more than gets her oils paid for every month because of something I help her build. And I'm not gonna let my mom fail. So my mom is doing quite well with the company. Got some nurses on her team and some different people on her team and that are building. And one thing about it, see, nurses know other nurses. And this nurse out of Dallas, Texas, got her sister involved that's also in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And they got another lady involved that's in Pennsylvania. It's also a nurse. She's been a floor nurse, head nurse. She's the charge nurse for several years. Been in nursing over 20 years, probably 30 now. I don't want to say that because that might not be as old as she is, but anyway, she's been in nursing a long time. And now there's, I don't know, 150, 200 people on my mom's team. And I've got, I don't know, right at 600, 700 people on my team. And I'm doing it organically. I'm not going out doing a whole lot of social media. I'm not doing a whole lot of these videos. But I'm doing it organically, and I'm helping people because I'm getting people answers that they've been looking for all their life. So you don't realize what you're dealing with until it goes away and you realize the life that you haven't been living. But to be able to help people and to help people find answers they've been looking for all their life, you have loyal customers forever. And I hope that lets you know about my story. That's the beginning of my story. Since then, I went on. I took my knowledge that I'm learning, my base of knowledge for essential oils and homeopathic remedies to the next level. I got certified as a practitioner, and now I'm working on my master practitioner license for neuro-linguistic programming and timeline therapy to help people live the ultimate life that they've maybe been held back by stuff that happened in their past. So basically a counselor without being a counselor, because I don't need to know content. I work with people on a level using their subconscious. But that's one thing. And then the other thing is we have a thing called Aroma Touch certification, where you get Aroma Touch. So it's kind of like a massage therapist, but using our essential oils. I've taken some of those classes, and I have the Aroma Touch kits, so we do that. But basically, our company, to wrap up the theory and philosophy and kind of the heart of our company, what we're about, our whole mission is, we are an essential oil company that is based around philanthropies. And we have several philanthropies, probably between 50 and 75 philanthropies we support. And when I say support, I mean hundreds of thousands of dollars a year we donate to different organizations that are nonprofits. Some of these, just to mention a few, are like our OUR, Operation Underground Railroad, where we just did a huge sting operation before leadership in another country. I won't talk about it because there's probably still investigations going on right now, but where we shut down sex trafficking in this country. We literally shut it down. And when I say we did it, we didn't do it. We just donate to the cause, and the people with Operation Underground Railroad went in and did those sting operations, and there's videos on their webpage and Facebook page. But if you go to DoTerra's Facebook page, you can see a lot of this that's being posted. But sex trafficking is a huge problem in the world, not just America, but it affects people from under 5 years old all the way to 18, 19, 20 years old. And it's a global problem. It was an epidemic, but we're working on that to shut it down. And we've got them running scared, the people that are behind the scenes, people that were doing that and making a lot of money off of it. We've shut them down. And we're proud to throw hundreds of thousands of dollars a year at it to invest in that. That's one of the big philanthropies we are. Another one is Days for Girls. Days for Girls is really close to my heart because I have a daughter that's now a little over 4 years old. In third world countries, and even in America, but specifically in third world countries, women don't know why their body does certain things at a certain time of the month, every month. And they're literally really ridiculed, and they're put in buildings for several days at a time until they get clean, as their tribe says. And people don't realize it. And again, this is PG. I'm going to be as PG as possible. But people don't realize it. But just because you're in America, or just because you're in a modernized country, you're blessed. There's a lot of people that aren't in that situation. There's more people not in the situation than there are in that situation. So we actually, with Days for Girls, we have thousands and thousands of people that make these kits, these hygiene kits. And we actually go in, and we have teams of people that go into these third world countries and educate people on their body anatomy and physiology, A&P. And we teach them, and we have linguists and different people to translate. It's just really cool to be a part of something bigger than us. That's another one. And then the other one is co-impact sourcing. See, where we get our oils from, we don't grow them in a greenhouse like some companies do. Where we get peppermint from, we get peppermint from where it's grown naturally, okay? And lemon, for example. Our lemon comes from the Italian region, overseas. And peppermint, lavender. I mean, we get everything from where it's grown indigenously. We don't get it from greenhouses. But the reason why is we want to get all of our products from where they're grown indigenously, because see, the plants have certain protective things, protective properties that they have built in the plant. That way, it's their defense mechanism. Well, see, if you know the Bible, and I'm not preaching here, but I just want to tell you about a good book that I know about. It's a history book, and you read it. And if you read this book, it says the world and everything in it was made for us. It didn't say this pharmaceutical company that has these compounding agents would bring a product that will have all these negative effects on your body. It didn't say that. It said the world and everything in it was made for us. It's for our body. It's to make our body whole and to heal itself. So the reason why I'm saying this is we go into these countries, like our frankincense comes from overseas. There was a baby born in a manger. If you don't know about it, you can read about it in a book. Okay, that same book I've been talking about. But there's a baby born in a manger, and the wise men came and they brought gifts. They brought frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Gold being the talents, precious elements they brought, because that was the most precious things they had to give at the time. The frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense is the father of oils. Myrrh is the mother of oils. That's the mother of emotion and the father of emotion. Those oils are very important. They were given to Christ when he was born. They were given to Christ and applied to Christ. Mary put them on Christ before he was crucified. They're very important. They're good for emotional stability. They're great healing oils. They are our most powerful oils. The reason why I'm saying that is we get the frankincense from these tribal people in these countries that they're not used to working together. If you know where frankincense come from, those tribes have been in conflict for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years. They don't get along. Well, it doesn't quite work when you're in a product-based company that sources frankincense, and we need something they have. So what we did, and this has never been done before, ever, we went in, the president, CEO, all the CFOs, the different organizers of our company. There are 7. That's a key number too. There's 7 owners of our company. That's a perfect number. There were 7 owners of our company, and the owners of our company went over, and we got these tribal leaders together in one room. Never been done before. We get all these tribal leaders together in one room, and we have people that were, doing the language barrier. And we shared with them that we wanted to be able to work with them collectively. And we wanted to be able to have them harvest their oils. That's what they're good at. And we wanted to be able to better their communities. So we asked them, what do you need from us? See, because when you come into some countries, money isn't all that matters. fiat currency we like to operate on in America doesn't mean anything in the middle of a desert, right? What are you going to do with dollars? Benjamins, as they call it, all about the Benjamins. That was a song a long time ago. Money doesn't mean everything to everybody. And in these countries, we ask people when we meet with people, what do they need? Well, some people might need sheep. They might need cows for milk. They might need goats. They might need food. They might need rice. They might need water, fresh water. So we ask them what they need. And we go in with our co-impact sourcing and our Healing Hands Foundation, and we build the communities up with what they need. So we literally, with the Healing Hands Foundation and co-impact sourcing, we go in and they have distilleries. They already had distilleries. They were using essential oils way before doTerra came to them. But we went in, we found something, and we made it better. We invested in their communities. Anyway, I'll just finish up this story, and then I'll talk about another little thing I'm really passionate about. But this is really powerful because they had distilleries. We go in and we build them new distilleries to help them out because we need something they have and they need something we have. So we make them more profitable. And they were hauling water in buckets, literally. You've seen videos. They're hauling water from the streams. The water's dirty. They get there and they're famished. They can't even drink the water from the stream because they know it'll make them sick. They haul the water back to their area, their farms or villages, and their tribes have to purify the water before they can even drink it. So we did what most companies should do. We put in freshwater drinking systems. We didn't ask them to pay us back. We put in freshwater drinking systems. We have built up their farms by bringing more, if they need more cows or sheep or chickens, whatever they need. We haul in boats of rice, barges of rice. In one country, we just started harvesting and using a product called copaiba. It is our new, it is going to be stronger than frankincense. There's thousands and thousands of testimonies of copaiba, C-O-P-A-B-I-A, copaiba. This oil is amazing. It is heaven sent. But we go into one of the villages that was harvesting our copaiba, and there was a person there that had tooth pain, terrible tooth pain. Dr. Hill put his gloves on in the field and examined her. And she had some teeth that were impacted. And so now we have put in place, we're in the process of putting this in place now, it's probably going now, a boat that travels up and down the stream to the different villages, because hospitals are miles and miles away and they can't get to the hospitals, so these people are just being basically tortured. So we have a boat that travels up and down the stream with a mobile dentist and mobile doctors to take care of these problems of these villagers. See, that's what we're all about. It's so much bigger than us. There's got to be questions, and I'm sure people are kind of overwhelmed by what I'm saying, but it's so much bigger than us. We have, one of the other things we do as doTerra is we have a micro-lending program where we loan microloans to villagers that want better equipment to farm with. A textile factory, and they need a loan to be able to get something better. We've done thousands of them, and we have a 100% success rate of paying back the loans. They're very small interest loans, some little to no interest. But the reason why is because we know these people. We are in their community. We know these people intimately, and we've been with these people, and we want them to be successful. So we have a 100% success rate on paying back those loans, with the people paying back the loans, and we're growing their community. These community, the people in the community that were harvesting the oils, they were going through third-party harvesters, and the distillation process was done by a third party. Well, the problem is when you have other people that are middlemen, is there's a lot of terrible things going on, to where they weren't getting paid what they were supposed to get paid. They were getting paid seasonally instead of all year long. So certain portions of the year they were blessed and they were getting by, but other parts of the year they weren't, and they were hungry. So we set it up to where they would be paid 12 months out of the year, and they're paid 2 to 3 times, sometimes even way more than that, what they were being paid before, to do the exact same job. And we've cut out the middleman that were getting filthy rich, taking care of these distillation process. So there's much more to doTERRA than just an oil. And actually our number one product is a vitamin. Our number one product isn't even essential oil. Our number one product is a product called Lifelong Vitality. It is vitamin 2.0. We call it vitamin 2.0 because it's our Lifelong Vitality is a perfect vitamin. There's a lot of vitamins you can take. If you're taking like a 1-a-day vitamin, or the mega vitamin, or the gold complex, you're taking A to Z. Well, if you don't believe me, check with your local sanitation department. If you're taking one of those vitamins, you've got an expensive bathroom break. I'll be that PG as possible. You asked me to be PG, so our vitamins have a high absorption rate, and they actually absorb in the body. They're plant-based, readily available plant nutrients. So you're getting the omegas you need. You're getting the plant-based, vitamins and supplements you need. And you're even getting essential oils internally in the vitamins. The reason why I said check with your waste management people, the people at the water treatment facility in the town you live, they have a problem. When they get finished treating the water, if you ever go out there and you see the big tanks that get the raw sewage, and we won't elaborate much on this for people that might be at lunch or getting ready for lunch. But anyway, the water is spun around and it goes through a series of tanks for the purification process, and then it starts the treatment process. And during that process, they have products that aren't able to be broken down because there's nothing that breaks them down. So they take this product out and they
ramen noodles.
There's all kinds of products, not just those kind of noodles, but there's these vitamins and sludge that has to be separated, and there's literally shellac, glues, different kinds of fillers and binding agents from pills and stuff that people take, and this is all set aside, and that's hazardous waste. There's nothing they can do with it. But you won't see doTERRA in those vitamins and in that sludge, because everything down to our capsules is a veggie cap. It dissolves in your stomach where it's supposed to. Our PB Assist, our probiotics and prebiotics, they dissolve where they're supposed to. They don't dissolve pre and then flushed out of your system. There's a patented delivery system that we have that's a double encapsulated system that a certain portion of it dissolves in your gut where it's supposed to, and the rest dissolves in your intestinal tract where it's supposed to. There's a prebiotic and probiotic. So everything we do is scientifically proven. We've partnered with over 100 medical research facilities, and I don't mean small hospitals and research facilities. I mean huge. Some of them are public that I can talk about, like Johns Hopkins University, Vanderbilt University, Vanderbilt Hospital. Some of those that you've heard of. If you haven't heard of Johns Hopkins, look at them. They could partner with any essential oil company they wanted in the whole world, but they partnered with doTERRA. Those are just a couple of over 100. We are in nursing homes. We are in, you name it, we're in it, because we're making a difference. And when I mean that, I don't mean that some of those are actually paying to buy our oils to put them in their, but there's research facilities actually studying our oils and doing studies, several studies on what we're doing. So If anybody has any questions, I'm open to answering questions.
Last night I had a question about psoriasis. I've seen questions about allergies and a question about why do I always feel sick when I go running.
Okay. Psoriasis is a skin issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And skin issues, so your body has different chimneys to detox. And if your chimneys, which are your channels of detoxin, aren't open, your skin finds a way to detox. Your skin is the last channel that finds its way to detox. So what I would suggest for a person that has a skin issue is I would suggest our vitamins and supplements. And I would suggest them for 60 to 90 days minimum. And I wouldn't suggest starting to take it as it does on the package in the beginning. I would suggest easing into it. And what I mean by that is a dosage of our vitamins are 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening of each vitamin. That would be 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening total. I would recommend starting with a quarter dose, 1 in the morning of each. And then I would work my way up to 1 in the morning and 1 at night in about 2 weeks. And then over a month, I would work my way up to full dose. Working with the person that got you involved in this the whole time, because see, when a person gets involved in doTERRA with me, they're not buying the oil. They are buying the oil, and they're getting the oil, but they're buying me. They're getting a minimum of 90 days of me walking with them hand in hand through their process to eliminate what they've been dealing with and to help move them toward the whole life that they're searching for. So work with the person that got you involved. If they don't know much about it, get with the person that got them involved. We all have kind of a management team, if you will. It's the doTerra support structure that's in place. Some people call it upline support system, whatever. It's the doTerra support structure. There's someone in your community that knows about doTerra. If not, get with Chirpy. She knows about it, and she knows how to get in touch with me, and we can make it happen. But so if a person's dealing with skin issues, they really need to work on their gut. Because what we've figured out, and we haven't figured out, research scientists figured it out, that the body has a brain, but the body has 2 brains. And it's not a brain like you're thinking, but it is a brain in itself. The gut is actually your body's first brain. It's not your body's second brain. The gut is the body's first brain, because your emotions, your health, your overall well-being, everything is centered around your gut health. The mind operates on a subconscious level and also a conscious level to actually operate and fire all the receptors in your body, with it nerves, endings, and everything else. But emotions, major chronic illness, autoimmune. March is autoimmune month. So this is a perfect time to be doing this video, actually, and I hope it's shared a lot. Share this video. This is going to make an impact. But the autoimmune, it starts with gut health. When I look at someone, I talk about the wellness pyramid, and it's basically starting with the foundational health. Foundational health to me is eating right. What is your diet? I sit down and I talk to someone, and I have a 1-hour wellness consult free of charge. It doesn't cost them anything, to find out what's your gut health. So I look at their diet, and I mean, we have to be full transparent, right? We have to talk about what a person really is intaking. I talk about, what are you drinking? What are you taking into your body? I mean, if a person is drinking a 44-ounce cup from Sonic of a beverage, and it may be a carbonated beverage, chances are it has high fructose corn syrup in it. I'm just saying, maybe it has high fructose corn syrup in it. Well, you do the studies. Look at history. History tells a story. And if you look at when we started having cancer, when we started having all these autoimmune disease, you start looking back and you look at high fructose corn syrup. And you look at all these chemicals and pesticides and the GMOs, all the genetically modified things that are going on. And then you start looking at the different things that are put in our foods. And I'm not throwing darts, Chirpy. I'm just having fun. But really, it's truth. And the truth will set you free, right? Well, people want freedom. This is where it comes from. Knowledge. Knowledge is the gatekeeper to power. Knowledge isn't power. It's the gatekeeper to power. It's a tool, and it's how you use it is good or bad. Because knowledge only does one of 2 things. It makes you better, for what you are if you do with it good. So, or you can just continue doing what you do. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over.
And while you're still on gut health, talk about the kids' PB Assist and vitamins real quick too.
Yeah, we have a really awesome kids formula that was released year before last at convention. It's been around almost 2 years now. My daughter absolutely loves it. She calls it Pixie Sticks. Thank goodness she doesn't know what real Pixie Sticks are, but I told her that's her Pixie Stick, so she asked for them. She wants more than one a day, but one a day is what's needed. It was a patented formula that was patented overseas, and the delivery method is a small crystallized form. It's totally 100% organic, beyond green. Everything we do is all healthy, but it tastes like watermelon. That is all 100% natural. Get them, try them. Adults like these more than the probiotics and prebiotics that we have. I mean, adults love them. They're watermelon flavored, all natural. And we also have the chewable vitamin, the A to Z, and a product called IQ Omega, which is it's an orange flavored omega. Note to self, if you ever drop this bottle and you ever clean it up with a kitchen towel, do not put that in the washing machine with other clothes. You will throw all of them away. So fish oil doesn't smell good when it's washed. We use 100% pure everything, so it's very potent, and it was very potent. So anyway, I have a clean washer now, which we also, just while we're talking about that, let's talk about our cleaning products. We want to reduce our household chemicals. We reduce everything we have, whether it's toxins in the environment, because if you clean the house with Lysol, if you clean the house with bleach, ammonia, anything like that, it's the equivalent, when you clean, it's the equivalent of smoking a pack a day for a week. That's the equivalent of the chemicals that you just took in your body. Especially if you're not using a double canister respirator. And I mean literally overboard respirator, like a hazmat respirator. Not a paper mask, walk through the doctor's office mask. I'm talking about the pink canister like you were painting a house, okay? That kind of canister. If you're cleaning your house and you don't have organic cleaners or make yourself cleaner, make your own, we can show you how to make your own cleaners, literally. A bottle of this lemon oil or wild orange goes a long way. You can make so many bottles of your own cleaner, it's not even funny.
I do vinegar, water, and On Guard.
Vinegar, water, and On Guard in a spray bottle. You can clean all of them. Go back and look at the video I talked about earlier with my wife getting healthy, but lemon, peppermint, oregano, and melaleuca were the 4 oils that my wife did a steam cut method when she had an upper respiratory issue. And the reason why that worked, I need to talk about right now because she talked about On Guard. The lemon, peppermint, oregano, and melaleuca, why that worked on a respiratory issue is because they're antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral, and antiseptic. All 4 of those are those. So that worked with all the bugs that were in my wife's lungs. So not literally bugs, but a virus that was going on. And speaking about that, let's be real. Let's talk about some good in-depth stuff. The reason why our oils work on a medicinal level is because they penetrate the cell wall. If you had balance oil, I would show this, but it's fine. You don't have to. Peppermint oil. When I put this on my skin right now, in less than 30 seconds, it's being absorbed into my skin. So if I want a cooling sensation, like let's say someone had a elevated temperature, the FDA didn't want me saying fever, but let's just talk about a fever or a high temperature. And if you want to talk about the FDA or call the FDA on us, have them call me. But there's a really cool thing called peppermint. If you have an elevated temperature, you can put this on the back of your neck. You can put this on your forehead. Do not get it in your eyes. Peppermint burns, believe it or not. If you do happen to get any of these oils in your eyes, you can use fractionated coconut oil. You can use extra virgin olive oil that's very, very well processed. Make sure it is very organic, but don't use water. Water does nothing but spread the oil and make the problem worse. So I'm telling you all this, but I was getting to say
Fight
this.
oil with oil.
What's that?
Fight oil with oil.
Fight oil with an oil. Oil cuts it. If you're using the essential oils with kids, If it's a baby, you would call them a toddler or earlier. You want to use a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil, very pure. Make sure it's pure. That's very important. Do a tablespoon of the oil with one single drop of essential oil. Make sure you're using a high quality essential oil. Do not use junk. Okay? Make sure you know where you're getting it from. Get with Chirpy and she'll talk to you about that. But every single one of our products are, not that we've ever needed it, I've never used it, but they're all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So we have all that. And the thing I was going to talk about was why it works on viruses. It works on viruses because the essential oils are lipophilic. And what that means is they penetrate the cell wall. A virus, when you go to a doctor and you have a virus, let's say you have a cold or you have the flu or you have something like that, and it's a virus. The virus, if you go to a doctor and they give you a pill, they give you a shot or whatever, they're doing that just to quieten you down, because there are pills that help your immune system, supposedly boost your immune system, but really it doesn't cure you. It wasn't made to cure you. A virus has to work its way out of your system. Your body has to take care of that virus. They'll tell you, if you've been to a doctor with a virus, they'll tell you, hydrate, keep yourself away from everybody else, don't expose anyone else, hydrate, drink plenty of fluids, try to keep some food on your stomach, and let it work its way out. Well, what we do, we actually tell you to put On Guard on your feet. The reason why on your feet is because you don't want to put On Guard under your arm because it's a hot oil. But under your arm and on your feet, the pores are twice as big as anywhere else on your body. Notice that's why you sweat out of your feet, and that's why you sweat your armpits. If you use antiperspirant, stop doing that. It's not good. Okay? You need to sweat. Your body was made to sweat. And I know I'm covering a bunch of subjects, but she wanted me to come over here and I'm just rolling off the cuff. So this is basically a class. But you put the On Guard on your feet. The On Guard penetrates your foot and it goes in your system. It starts working through every single cell in your body and it works. We have an On Guard internal gel cap that you can also take. Oregano and On Guard, Melaleuca, lemon, peppermint, those all can be taken internally with what's called a veggie cap. You don't want to put oregano. Oregano is used with cooking. You don't want to put oregano in your mouth. If you're watching this video and you heard me talk about oregano, do not put oregano in your mouth without taking it with a veggie cap. And you want to eat with it.
On fire for days.
The reason why there's not enough milk in your refrigerator, there's not enough milk at the grocery store to cool down. If you like the Fujita scale, the scale of hotness, picture a ghost pepper times about 100. It is extremely, extremely hot oil. So oregano definitely needs to be cut if you're using oregano on topically on your skin. You can use oregano on your feet. We have it in a roller ball. You can make your own roller ball. If you get some on Amazon, you get a steel roller ball delivery system. It's a 10 ml or 15 ml bottle. And you put like 10 to 15 drops of oregano, maybe 20 at the most. Top it off with fractionated coconut oil that you can also get from us. And that makes your own roller ball. That oregano is a very, very effective antibiotic. And it is actually a real...
chicken's water.
It's a real antibiotic. What's that?
So Purdue puts it in their chicken's water.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that a lot of companies are starting to look at natural. But I'm going to kill my camera because my battery's going dead. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more of these. And then I'm going to stick with Christy here. Hold on one second. Let me post this. All right. And let me text my friend because he's coming to bring me a present in just a second. Give me 1 second. Text me where I can meet you. I'm on a video right now and I'll be finishing up in about 10 minutes. Thank you. Okay, but I'm really excited to be here. Do you have any other questions, Christy?
Allergies.
Allergies.
Yeah.
Allergies are really easy. You happen to have everything we need right here. Really cool. You won't believe it.
Beginner's Trio.
Yeah, this is the beginner's trio kit. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint. The three cheapest and most oftenly used essential oils that we offer. I started with the natural solution kit. When I got started, it had everything that I needed, including the vitamins. It had a diffuser, which is what we're using right here. It had this really nice diffuser. This is called the Aroma Light diffuser. It's really nice. We have it. I have many other diffusers to choose from now, though. Christy will tell you I have about 20 different diffusers you can choose from, and they're very cost effective, very affordable. Because I'm not in the business to make money on diffusers. I'm not trying to make money on diffusers. What I'm trying to do is get diffusers in everyone's home. Because if I can get diffusers in everyone's home with lemon, lavender, and peppermint in it, or on guard during the flu season, same thing that happens at my daughter's school. Every year when she's in school and she moves up a grade, guess what? The class amazingly stays healthy. See, their class is allotted, I think it was 15 boxes of tissues a year, what the teacher was telling me last year. And I had another teacher in Brownsville was telling me that that their classroom was allotted 15 or 16 boxes of tissue a year. And then after that, they had to ask for donations or buy it themselves. Every year before, she had been using all of it. Well, what's amazing is when she got in DoTerra, and she started diffusing in her classroom, she didn't ask permission. She just did it. Might want to ask permission, but just do it, whatever. You'd be like Nike, do it, right? But she started diffusing in her classroom, and she had like 8 or 9 boxes left over at the end of last flu season, right? How does that work? Well, this right here is going in the air. You see that fog, right? It atomizes the essential oils, puts them in the air, and it gets in the ventilation system. It gets in the return ducts. It goes all over your house, and where it lands, where the oils land, microbial, antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral, and antiseptic. So when it touches MRSA, it touches the rhinovirus, it touches the flu virus, it touches the common cold or any other germ that's on the surface, it kills it. Not only does it kill it, but Johns Hopkins University says it keeps it from regenerating. So in other words, it's not live on that culture anymore. That live culture, done. They did these studies with Petri dishes, and they showed us year before last at convention. We had doctors from multiple major hospitals and cancer research facilities, which we will not talk about on here, but you can do your research. You can look at it on published studies. I'll give you a keyword to research: frankincense. That's it. Okay, that's what we'll talk about, and that's not a keyword for curing. What we do is, again, I want to reiterate: we take what your body does. We let your body have wholeness in itself, okay? We don't cure anything. We don't ever, that's my disclaimer, we don't ever talk about curing anything. What we do is we give the body what it needs, and the body takes care of itself. We have another product that we haven't talked about, Christy, called DDR Prime. Mm-hmm. DDR Prime is a DNA repair internal. It's a veggie cap. Take 2 a day, 1 to 2 a day. And you get amazing results. There's amazing testimonies of DDR Prime, along with frankincense, with a lot of topics that we won't talk about today, but there's amazing things that we talk about one-on-one in a private setting. So if you want a one-on-one consultation, get with Chirpy. We'll set up a Zoom call, and we'll do a one-on-one consultation with what you're personally dealing with, because a lot of people don't want to talk about in a live forum what they're dealing with. But we want to talk to you one-on-one and do a wellness consult. They usually, my part takes 30 to 45 minutes, and anything you have on top of that is what we allow for. So my part is going to take 30 to 45 minutes, and I am 100% confident that I can help with whatever is bothering you, period. And I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I've been doing this a long time, but what I have is a really cool app. And there's an app on my phone. There's an app for that.
You have an oil for that too.
I have an oil for that. I do. There's a Modern Essentials app. I'll show you this app just where you can look at it. There's an app called Modern Essentials. That's the app. It's really cool. So if you see the app, it's called Modern Essentials. It works really good. I can search. What do you want me to search for, Christy?
Uh,
We talked about allergies, right?
yeah, that's a good one.
So we'll do allergies. If I can spell it, all you got to do is be able to spell. Okay? Allergies. An allergy is a damaging immune system response to a substance that doesn't bother most other people. Common allergies are food, insect bites, pollen, dust, medicine, pets, and mold.
Cat.
It tells you everything, all the common, okay? It also tells you what oils to use. Melaleuca, lavender, lemon, peppermint. The three, right? And the ones it talks about first in red, those are the most common. So just to let you know, because the glossary isn't really clear on that. Other products, seasonal blend soft gels. Well, guess what? Lemon, lavender, and peppermint worked so good that we kept ordering veggie caps because everybody wanted to order veggie caps and make their own lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Well, let's call it Tri-Ease. Why we called it Tri-Ease, I don't know. But those oils eased my symptoms. Maybe that's how we came up with it.
That's what I was going to say.
There's respiratory throat lozenges, throat drops. They're called Breathe Drops. Really awesome. That's the Breathe oil that we have. We have an oil called Breathe. It's really good for respiratory. And then the respiratory vapor stick. It's called a Breathe stick. We have that also, okay? And then, yeah, I saw that one. That's easy. I don't want to sound confident, or I don't want to sound cocky. I am confident, but I'm not cocky. Do you have a charger for an iPhone by chance?
Yeah, here.
Okay. Oh, epic fail. Sorry. There we go. We're a little cockeyed now, but that's okay. We'll be twisted right now. But I've got about 5 more minutes on here, and then I'm going to break. And then what I'm going to do is, if you have any questions after this, if you want to private message Chirpy, send her a private message, and I'll get back and answer every question. And this is forever. When Christy partnered up with me years ago, it's been what, 2 or 3 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
She not only bought the oils, she bought me. She hired me, and I'm with her. I'm partnered with her in business forever, and anything you need, I'll help you out with. Insomnia was spoken about earlier.
I said Serenity, lavender, juniper berry, and cedarwood.
That's good.
That's what I use.
Yeah, Serenity is amazing. There is a Serenity complex also. It's an internal complex. So I figure since I'm here, I'll talk about that. I honestly haven't ever needed a pill to sleep. Some people use pills that they take them and they don't even remember getting up, driving to the store, purchasing things, and driving home. My friend got up one night. This is a long time ago before he knew about oils, obviously. But he was taking a pill that actually, he woke up in the middle of the night, drove himself to the store, came home, and was on his computer and fell asleep. He didn't wake up the next day. I went over to his house and I thought he was dead. I literally thought he was dead. He had taken these pills and didn't realize it, and actually took 2 of them. And I have been, if you watched the first of this video, I've been a career firefighter for 18 years. I know what death looks like. I know what it feels like. I had a key to his house because I used to be a business partner of his, and he had a home office, so I let myself in. He's my best friend. And I unlocked his door. I knocked and made sure everything was okay. I walked inside. He was in his office. He was slumped over in his chair. I touched him. He was really, like, his skin was hard. His blood vessels were hard. His body was gray and grayish blue color, and he didn't have the proper oxygen going to his brain he needed. He didn't have proper, and I truly believe, had I not woke him up, make him get up, he might not be here. I called EMS to come out and check him out. He refused medical treatment. He's hard-headed, but he had overdosed on sleeping medication, and thank God that he was able to come through. But my point being, Serenity oil in a diffuser beside your bed. If you need a night light, you've got one. If you don't need a night light, then you turn it off. Okay, so now it's off. No night light. This is diffusing Serenity put it on the 4-hour setting. There's a reason. Put it on the 4-hour setting because you'll want to get up in the morning and go to work, and you don't want to be sleepy and groggy. So it'll automatically turn itself off in 4 hours. The essential oils will rest, and you'll be able to wake up the next morning refreshed, renewed, because the essential oils last in the air between 4 and 6 hours. So they work really good. Start your diffuser around 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and let it go, and you will sleep good. That is Serenity that I was talking about. If you need more than that, I would just start with Serenity. I would get the Duo. It's Serenity Internal. That's our complex blend, along with the Serenity oil and the diffuser, and you will sleep like a baby. I dare you to try that and stay awake. Okay? I've tried that with people that were hard-headed and didn't believe me. I told them, take it, try to watch a movie. They couldn't. They fell asleep. It works, let me just tell you. We have products that work. They absolutely work. They work very well. They're very potent. It doesn't take much. Less is more with essential oils. 1 to 2 drops does just about everything you need it to do. I really appreciate everyone for getting on here today. If I'm going to answer a few more questions, I'm going to be here about 3 more minutes, and then I've got another meeting.
Someone mentioned anxiety, stress. I said balance, but you might know something else would be better, or that would work with balance.
Absolutely.
Good. And also, someone asked about energy, and I said the lifelong vitality with Max.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is, those are perfect. Christy is a researcher. She has done her research. She's been involved in this a while, so you can definitely look at her as an authority when it comes to essential oils. And I strongly recommend reaching out to her. If for some reason you want to reach out to me, by all means get in touch with her, and we can schedule a Zoom call and make it happen. I really look
From
forward
what
to it.
I'm looking at, I think Kelly and Donnie would really benefit from both. Both of them would benefit from that because they're the two they're asking about.
Wonderful.
Anxiety, stress, and energy. So,
Yeah.
and Donnie has my email.
Okay.
Kelly, you can go back and look at her. Or you can get you got Haley and me on Twitter. You can do that. So we can set up something up with Dallas, and we can do that.
And if you're good with it, I can do these. I can do these often. I can do these later. If you want to do one in another 2 or 3 weeks, we can do one in another.
Someone asked about sex drive, and I would say the
2 or 3
Ylang
weeks.
Ylang.
Yeah, Ylang is good. That is, we do have an oil for that. This is a PG, so we won't talk about it, but we do have that. But basically, our lifelong vitality gives you energy and stamina. We also have a product called Mito 2 Max, which is good for increasing blood flow, and we'll stop at that on that one. But yeah, that's really good.
This group will use their imagination.
Mito 2 Max is really good. It's a really good product. It's a pill form. It's like $40 or $50 if you buy it by itself, but if you buy the Lifelong Vitality, you can add Mito 2 Max to your order for $20. So $20 for a bottle that lasts 30 days is really awesome. And keep in mind, there's no side effects of what we do. The side effect of what we do, and what I tell people is when they partner with me, their worst case scenario is literally they get healthier. The best case scenario is they help some people get healthier. That's what we do. So. I really like peppermint. I really like actually lavender and lemon in my tea or whatever. I put the copaiba. I used to take deep blue polyphenol. That's good for pain if you have inflammation, pain inflammation. I took deep blue polyphenol ever since it first came out about 2 years ago. What I take now is called copaiba, and I put 1 to 2 drops under my tongue every morning. And I drink it with ambient temperature water. If y'all are drinking ice water, I recommend cutting that out. I recommend ambient temperature water, which is room temperature water.
Plastic and citrus.
Yeah, and when you're using oils, or not at all. I'm a green guy. I actually own part of a company that's all about green, and it's all about the environment. And I recommend mason jars. They're really cheap. really easy to throw in the dishwasher, and you can put anything in them, hot or cold. Mason jar is really good. It's glass. It's cheap. You can also, if you happen to be traveling and you happen to buy, there's some ginger honey tea that you can get, and with a yellow top, yellow plastic top on it, but the bottle is glass. That works really good for on the go. You can reuse that bottle over and over and over. But you definitely don't want to put any of the citrus oils, lemon, wild orange, lime, anything like that, citrus bliss, anything like that in the plastic, because they reduce petrochemicals in your body. Petrochemicals are what you get from your surroundings and from environmental hazards like plastic water bottles. I recommend getting rid of plastic water bottles if you can in your life. I recommend getting rid of styrofoam in your life. Anything you can get rid of that's plastic made, because all the plastics are made with petroleum. That's why we call them petrochemicals. They leach into what you're drinking. You're taking it into your body. Your organs are doing their best to take care of it and get rid of it, but your body is bombarded by petrochemicals. So if you can get rid of that, I mentioned earlier, do away with antiperspirant, use deodorant. We can show you how to make your own, or you can buy it straight from the company, really inexpensive, and it smells really amazing. So you don't have to worry about stinking. But everybody still smells good. But if you use antiperspirant, this is a chimney. This is where your body detoxes, okay? If you clog those pores, which is what antiperspirant does, you're clogging them with titanium, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, look on the bottle, there's aluminum and
Aluminum is in them.
there's aluminum and other products and the antiperspirant, and all you gotta do is do your research.
And watch, if you have a sensitivity, watch for baking powder has aluminum in it.
Yeah.
A lot of it does, but you can find it aluminum free.
There's things, if you have a newborn or you have a baby and you're using baby powder or anything like that, do your research. There's been class action lawsuits that have been proven by doctors. This isn't me. I'm not smashing those companies. They've already smashed themselves. But they've been talking to Johnson & Johnson and all these other companies have been really promoting all their products for decades, and everyone has come to know them as a household name. And baby powder, talc powder, all these different powders are not good. Even when it comes to feminine powder, stuff like that. You do your research, see the class action lawsuits that have been, because there's cancer-causing carcinogens in those products, and we want to do everything we can do to rid your life. Before I get off here, I want to touch on something that I can't touch on my channel, because I'm friends with this family that I just become friends with, and their baby, their girl is actually at St. Jude right now, and I've went up there and visited her. When I was visiting her, she was eating now and laters, and that brought up a conversation that I brought her mom to the side, and I asked what was her diet before then, before she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She was at a cheerleading camp and she had an accident. She was tumbling, had an accident, hurt her knee. They did some surgery, did some tests, and found out what it was. And it ended up being a blessing in disguise, because she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma because they found that. And I started talking to her mom about her diet, and I said, what does she like? And she said, she's really into textures. She really likes sweets. She likes, stuff like that. I said, what about vegetables? What about green vegetables? Can we get green vegetables to her? Because you need to change your body pH. If you know anybody dealing with any type of lymphoma, any type of major illness, reach out to me and let's have a wellness consult on that one. But need to eat as many raw green vegetables as possible. You need to change your body pH. There's books about body pH and making your body alkaline. Most people's body are borderline acidic or acidic because of what they've taken in their body. If you're a sugar lover, if you love all this bleached flour and all this stuff, your body just can't take that, and your body goes into an acidic state, and your body pH changes to acidic, and cancer thrives in acidic bodies. Cancer dies in a body that's alkaline. So you can do your own research. All I want to do is stimulate people to thinking here today. I don't tell everybody how to cure themselves. I tell you to research. If you're really passionate about making a difference in people's lives, not just yours, get with us. We'll show you, what we can do, and I can have more of an intimate conversation. But this is just a scratch the surface conversation. I'm not a doctor, never claimed to be, but I'm just really educated about things I'm passionate about.
What about vaping? That was a question that someone had on here.
Okay.
Can they vape the oils?
There is certain ways to vape the oils. There are certain atomizers that are in a vaping type machine. Make sure your vapor doesn't heat up. If your vaporizer heats up to create the vaping, then you're killing the medicinal property of the oil, because they die in heat. That you don't need to heat them up to a super high temperature. If you are vaping, here's where I'll go with that, and that has been my last question. If you're smoking, try to quit. We have an oil for that, honestly. We can get with you on smoking to quit smoking. Black pepper is the oil to use. It really works with smoking. It works with addiction. It works with any addiction. I have an addictions class that I teach about every addiction you can imagine. Black pepper is one of my go-to oils. The thing with vaping is it creates a thing, and you can research yourself what it does to your lungs, because these oils, opposed to the chemicals that you're getting in the vape, if you go to a vape shop, reach out to me, talk to me about that. But it does terrible damage to your lungs. I'd rather you smoke than vape. Sorry to say. If you're, and don't take that out of context. I'm just saying, if you're not vaping something that is 100% pure, 100% therapeutic, and you don't know exactly where it came from, I would honestly rather a person smoke than vape. And the reason why is because the chemicals put off and the chemicals that they're taking into their body, thinking because of advertisers and all these people advertising, they're thinking they're doing something good for their body. It is very, very toxic. Don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not here to hurt people's feelings. I care about people, and I want this world to be a better place. Especially if you have kids in the car with you. Any kids in the car, don't smoke around them. Don't vape around them. Do yourself a favor. Don't let them see that habit. That does what I'm really positive about, and I'm an NLP practitioner, neuro-linguistic programming. That sets a person up for failure if they see someone smoking or they see someone have something in their hand forever. And that's a long conversation that we won't get into today. But just realize that you are programming the people around you when they see you smoke or have something that is constant all the time. They see that, okay? I would much rather them be addicted to this right here than something else, okay? So be blessed, everyone. Have a great day, and I really, really appreciate this. It's an honor and privilege to be here, Chirpy. I appreciate it. I almost called her Chipper. She is Chipper. Chirpy.
One quick question, just as my question is to let them know, when can we do like a business side interview?
I would love to do a business side interview. If you're interested in this for economic reasons, there is a business attached to this. I don't normally do it in this setting. Thank you so much for that. I would love to do a business presentation. We could do it as early as Monday, this coming Monday, for the people that are interested. We can talk about the business.
I'm at a conference this next
and
week
how that works.
for a few days.
That's fine. Just let me know what works
Yeah.
for you, and we'll schedule it, okay?
Okay.
This is what I do. Like I said, I'm a fireman, but I don't do I don't do firefighting for the money. I do that because that's my philanthropy. That's my way of giving back. Saving someone's life is what I do. So I'd love to reach out and talk to people about the business side of this. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Have a blessed day. Thanks.